Oh, right there, front wheels. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the scheduled Selectboard meeting for April 9th. Before we start, can we have everyone stand to say the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Item 2, public comment on items that are not on the agenda for tonight. Seeing none. Update from Kennebec County Sheriff's Department.
Okay.
Young man, you're up before?
Okay. In preparation for this, I looked through all of the, we fill out a detail sheet every time we do one of these and send it to our supervisor, and so the sergeant on duty had collected all those and sent those to me. I reviewed all of those, and if you're into statistics, I have a few for you. We had a total of, these are just for the month of March, and during that month we had 17 what we call details, where we have a deputy assigned to mainly do traffic. Out of those 17 shifts, there were 102 vehicles stopped. 58 of those were for speed. One deputy investigated or was flagged down by someone. I don't know how they flagged him down, but informed the deputy of a drug house. Another deputy comments on investigating area drug houses. One person was arrested on a warrant. One 17-year-old was had her THC vape taken from her. So not a lot of big drama, but there were other reasons vehicles were stopped. Obviously, you can tell a little over half of those were for speed, but they might be other violations. But since speed is a problem, I figured I'd isolate that one and give you a total for that one. So, if you're wondering, I just cleared from a massive crash down here. All parties are alive, but they did light flight 1. So that's really all any of us know right now. So the car drifted across the lane and got the worst of it. So, any questions?
Every meeting we hear from you and not you specifically, but and we hear a lot about drug houses and stuff. Do you have an idea of how many there are in the town? Are you privy to that knowledge, or off the top of your head, or?
I could, like, they come and go. Like, there was one on Dondero Road that one, eventually everyone involved got arrested or something, so, and of course, some of you might be aware of one on
Townhouse in Barry.
Exactly. That one we worked that one for a long time. I don't think that's active. There's a few others that have kind of been on again, off again. I would say that I'm not the most, I don't work this area as much as guys like Deputy Curtis, some of these other guys, but I don't believe there's probably more than what I could put on, but there's one very near this building.
Oh, yeah,
that's
sure.
That's active, and we're definitely, matter of fact, a couple months ago, a car stop yielded quite a bit out of that place, and a guy was on a felony warrant out of Wisconsin for murder, or attempted murder, I should say, and he ended up picking him up because he was so confident that no one was going to get him that he showed up to pick up one of the people who was just let go, didn't have any reason to be arrested, and so that's how that turned out.
Bad hand of cards.
Unexpectedly, yeah. So, but I can get that. I can get you a number, but I don't believe it's huge out
No,
here.
that's fine.
Yeah.
Just curious. We hear it all the time.
Yeah.
It's been I'm sure our community is not the.
There were some that were mentioned here that are not new. So I would think if they were new, at least they didn't include them in these detail reports as new mentions of new addresses. So it's just the same old places coming and going, and, you know, they run their business, so.
Good, thank you.
Yeah.
Any comments? Sherry?
Molly, go ahead.
Do you have any plans to make this activity summary available at the town meeting, so the people attending the town meeting can be made aware of, because isn't their patrol going to be one of the issues they're voting on?
Like that reports, or?
Just some sort of, anybody that doesn't come here won't have any clue of what the money's being used for, or paid for, or producing.
We're gonna put together a detailed list of the numbers, so that when that question is asked, and it will be asked, we can come up with, and maybe we'll have a printout and we can put it in, so when you
Have it
walk in,
at the table.
you can see it.
Yeah,
But we'll have a list of the stops and possibly arrests and numbers, and, cause that, you'll need that obviously to make a decision whether we continue that or not.
that would be good.
Absolutely.
Sure.
All right, thank you.
All set, thank you, Mike.
All right. Item 4, public hearing.
Do you all need me to stay for the, is that, first time I've been to one of these meetings, do you?
I'm good, you
So-
can leave now.
Sometimes they stay, hang out.
Okay.
Anybody get rowdy tonight? Steve?
I'm trying to get this crash report done, so
Yeah,
if I
yep.
could
Do what
just
you
step
do.
out.
Sure, yep.
Yeah, all right,
Thank you, guys.
thank you.
Public hearing on 5-star salvage. That's the name? Thought of that.
Not me.
Henry Truman, map 1, lot 101 for his junkyard. I assume it's for his permit, his,
This is his renewal,
renewal,
his
yep.
yearly renewal, yep. He did inform Code Officer Lumber that he was in compliance with everything. Greg hasn't been out there to check it, but I know he was working, Mr. Truman was working on the titles and getting all those taken care of, so. We see no reason not to issue it.
any public comment on Mr. Truman's proposed junkyard permit? Sherry, you can't say a word.
I'll say it for you, renew it.
All set? That'll be it for that public hearing. Adjustments to the agenda?
No.
No, all right. Consent agenda, item A, AP warrant number 26 in the amount of $42,609.48. Item B, AP warrant number 27 in the amount of $285,341.82. Item C, AP warrant number 28 in the amount of $74,182.91. Item D, payroll warrant week number 12 in the amount of $3,953.08. Item E, payroll warrant week number 13 in the amount of $3,852.48. Item F, payroll warrant week number 14 in the amount of $4,814.68. Item G, payroll warrant week number 15 in the amount of $4,455.26. And item H, minutes of the March 12th Select Board meeting of 2025. With that, I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda as read.
1 second.
I have a motion and a second. Any public comment? Seeing none, all in favor? New business. Item 1, possible review and approve 5-star salvage. We said we're gonna wait until,
No, you guys can approve it now that there are at least 2 of you, because Sherry will have to abstain.
yes. Did you just say that Greg has to look through that, or?
No, Greg has not been over there, but he spoke to Mr. Truman, told him everything was set, and I know that Mr. Truman has been working on the titles and stuff, so we saw no reason not to renew it.
Okay, so I'll make a motion to, and how long is this for?
1 year.
1 year. From, what do we have for dates?
It's actually, if they renew in October, we're a little late on getting this one done. So it'll be till October.
Till this October. All right, so I'll make a motion to grant 5-Star Salvage Henry Truman a renewal of his junkyard license. Map 1, lot 101, effective now till October
31.
2025.
No, second.
We have a motion and a second. Any public comment? All in favor? And one abstained.
You are not my friends.
Item 2, pre-bid meeting with potential bidders for the road plowing contract.
So this may be something new for this board, but I felt it would be beneficial considering the concerns we've had over the past 3 years with the plowing contract, to meet with potential bidders and just kind of go over your expectations, review the bid, see if they have questions for the board. An opportunity to meet them ahead of time.
Who do we have here that are potential bidders? We have 1, 2, we have 3, 4. Could I have a name, sir?
Dylan Lavoy. Dylan Lavoy?
Lavoy?
Yes, sir.
Ken
Ken Christopher.
Okay, and we know you two gentlemen. Okay, I guess I'll open it up to any concerns of any of you for or questions to us. We have 27 miles of roads. Some dirt roads. I know Steve has done the town before. Tim is trying. Yes, sir.
I plow now for that contractor that does it. That's why I'm here. I don't like how it's done currently.
Okay,
So I know all the roads, all the routes. I just don't agree with how it's currently being done, so
okay,
I'm here to try to bid it.
okay. And has everyone gone through the
Package, they were all sent a package, and there's 26 miles, just
26?
clarification, and that is in the appendix.
Any of you guys have questions on any of that?
I have one to start with.
Yep.
Is this a mandatory pre-bid so we know the 4 contractors that are here? Or is it still open to anybody?
Still open to anybody, yes.
I just suggest, just a pure suggestion that maybe have a mandatory pre-bid so that it could eliminate some confusion of your expectations. Doesn't have to be tonight, but we plow a lot of different places and you're gonna get a lot of different prices. The more that people know expectations, the tighter probably gonna be. Like, just a suggestion, do it any way you want, but it was,
No, the state requires it on a bunch of their projects. It puts everybody in the same playing field. I agree with Steve on that. Then there's no question, it's what you guys say in that meeting is law, right? So that's what you expect, so nobody can say differently.
I see they have the right to reject any and all bids, which is kind of standard. So is it gonna be awarded on price alone?
I would say no, in my opinion, I would say no. We'll look at the reputation of the contractor. We'll call references if we don't know them. Look at equipment, maybe, if possible. How new the equipment is, how old the equipment is. And just, common sense stuff.
Due diligence, yeah.
Yep. So, let me ask a question, what do you have for equipment as far as, age goes?
I have access to get whatever I want. I didn't secure anything prior to this. I don't wanna spend the money and,
Yep.
cause this is what I wanna go for.
Yep.
I do have one plow truck. It's got 150,000 miles on it, it's a tandem axle. but I don't wanna grow from there until I can secure this.
Yep.
I've already
Understand.
secured a bid bond and everything, like a pre-bid bond and insurance, and so I'm good to move forward and get whatever's
Okay.
needed. Cause this certainly isn't enough now, in my opinion.
Yep. Sir?
As far as, what are you asking, sir?
Just equipment, you know, how old is it, or?
I have 2 plow trucks now. As far as other equipment goes, it's not a concern.
Okay.
As far as with my business partner, it's, you know, I don't like to run shit that breaks in the middle of the night, quite honestly, so I've done it before, I hate it. They're all expensive to work on, right? So, you know, yeah, it's not a, as far as equipment goes, it's not an issue.
Yeah.
It's all, you know, 15 years, 20 years or newer, you know, so it's not a, I wouldn't be going to buy nothing brand new from O'Connor's for it, but you know what I mean? That's a little crazy nowadays, but.
What have we changed from the old contract to this new one?
Yes.
That really stands out, that these guys need to know about?
Yep, there are definitely 2 things that changed. One is, and I'm not sure I put it in here, that there are cameras now at the sand and salt shed building, so we can verify when plow trucks are going out. The big catcher in here is that we are asking for GPS modules to be installed on the trucks, so that when we're not to check on anybody, but when we're getting phone calls saying they haven't been here in 6 hours, I can go on the computer and say, well, they were there an hour
And
ago.
those are town provided, right,
I love
Christine?
that.
Yes,
You're provided, we don't have to come up with it
No.
on our own.
Yep.
Good.
so it'll be like an online program, and whoever the contractor is, I'll certainly give access to that at that point also, so that you can verify that your workers are doing that.
My trucks have that now, I don't know if you can get into, seems like you piggyback on the same program.
On the program,
I think.
yeah. And the other thing that is in here is if there's damage, it has to be reported to the town office if you damage somebody's mailbox or something major like that, just so I know, so I'm not getting this phone call saying they took my mailbox out and.
And
Not
what's
that-
what do you guys require on that, as far as mailboxes go? I mean, cause there's some around town that would fall over if the wind blew, right, so.
Yeah, no, usually I will defend the contractor as much as possible because by state law, we don't have to replace mailboxes because they're in the road right away. The current contractor has been pretty good on helping some of the elderly
Sure,
repair the mailbox if the drivers have hit them. And I usually try to work it out with the contractor saying, hey, can you go over and help them? Because I don't have anybody to, and they've taken care of it. If it's absolutely somebody I know that is just complaining because their mailbox was hit, but it was sticking out,
Sure.
I'm sorry, you're just gonna have to deal with it, so.
We also asked the contractor to paint the end of the plow like 1.5 feet in or so of like a fluorescent green. And what that does is it helps me, cause I go out a lot on, hey, your plow guy hit my mailbox. And as you said, yes, a lot of mailboxes in any town that you drive through,
or a 5
it's on the same 2x4 that's been there since Grandpa was around. And so what that does is, if your plow guy obviously hits it, it's gonna leave a fluorescent mark on that, either wood or mailbox or whatever. It just gives us ammunition to go after and stand behind either you or your driver or whatever. So most of it is 95% of the time, it's the weight of the snow from the wing, and it just knocks it over. We all know that, but there are times when, and most of the time the guys are good. Whoever the guys in the seat will admit, yeah, man, I took that out, and probably the next 2, but after it happens. Perception, getting it close. Anyone that's been in the seat knows that. So, yes, sir.
There's a couple short mailboxes around you, like, you're supposed to be able to go underneath them, but you'll learn as you do the route, what comes out far, what's not high enough, et cetera, et cetera. That telephone pulls out a little more.
We typically, when we mail out our flyers don't we put something, or maybe our tax bills in the fall?
We haven't done that in a while, but we certainly can.
But we'll try to
Yep.
put a note in there to remind people of their mailboxes and the upcoming winter that's approaching.
It doesn't bother me any, just for someone that hasn't done, you know, if they're just trying to stay at one length over the shoulder to push, you know, might take out a few, but it's not that bad, it's pretty good.
Sherry?
Where do your crews live? Like what's the average different distance that do they live away from here? Like, are they coming from Bath
Me
and
first?
Bowden? Yeah, you first.
I got one gentleman that lives in Whitefield, he's also a full-time mechanic, so while he's out with me, repairs can be done quick if we need to be. And then my brother is, with me, and then I do have a friend that's down in Wyndham, that would be a fourth person. It would take him a minute to get here, I don't think we'd need him right off though, and if we had a big storm, he would know well ahead of time if we needed.
Okay.
Smaller vehicle. Did we put that in there?
Tim,
We did.
you're,
Also, everybody's in Chelsea.
okay,
There's one guy in Windsor.
okay, thank you.
All around Chelsea, Gardner, Palmerdale, Windsor.
Okay, thanks, Steve.
Mine's, Chelsea, Bowden, Litchfield, Sebatis, they're all right here, they're all within half hour, so
Okay,
no big deal.
and who would make that call when your plows drop?
We, in our situation, we have, small groups of people, and there'll be one phone call for the town, but he dispatches the town trucks.
Okay,
We do some in Windsor currently, we do the town of Farmingdale, and that same person would be, in this case, would be Mike McGee, my nephew.
okay,
But, he dispatches the town trucks, and we have other crews that do the malls and different things, but that's how we do it.
all right, thank you.
Same thing, we just designate one person
One
for it.
person.
Me,
You,
I would be here all the time, most likely, yes.
okay, perfect,
Yeah, eyes on it.
Yeah, same thing, right
Okay.
here in town, so.
all right, thank you.
I had, two questions about the equipment, if I might.
Yeah,
I said, a loader with a wing and a plow and wing may be utilized, it's not required, right? A loader is very,
No,
very slow.
If you wanna replace it for a dump truck or whatever.
Okay. And the other thing is, all these trucks need pre-wetting on them for brine. It
Yeah,
says,
you put it in here about possibly a brine tank.
Possibly,
Yeah.
yes, no, that's not a requirement, but at some point, we may end up moving to that, so it's in this contract as a possibility. But we don't have the capability at that building right at the moment to do that, and obviously, you would want running water to rinse off your trucks after you do
yeah,
the
that's
brine.
right, now, Steve.
So, no,
There's
No.
other requirements, some towns is ground speed sensors and stuff, it doesn't look like you ever required super expensive equipment, that's
Try to keep it simple,
common sense.
yeah.
And that's just my biggest thing is, it's your job,
Common sense.
right? You know ahead of time it's gonna snow. The phone doesn't ring, oh, it's snowing, you know it's gonna snow. So if it's gonna snow at noon time and at 4 o'clock you pull in the sand shed, start loading your trucks at evening commute, just don't fly with me. I get the complaints, I get like I'm the bad guy. It's just, you're making $200,000 or $300,000 a year. Go do your job and go home, and don't go home until the job's complete. So, there's a lot of common sense, and like I said, just manage it and keep your trucks on the road until everything's done, and you shouldn't have any problems. It's pretty cut and dry.
I think the pre-inspections, on equipment, get a deadline, I mean, obviously, people should have, I think Tim's, we're all set right now, we get enough equipment, but, I don't blame people for not investing without having a job.
So
And there'll be times we'll ask you to help with filling up the, we have a little shed that, residents come in and get, and so a lot of times we'll make a call and have someone just take a bucket and, put it in, fill it up, and help us out.
What's your guys' requirements on material usage? Is it, use it as necessary, like what's the how much do you use a year, so we could, you know what I mean? Like, obviously, it's based on storms, obviously, but, you know, hey, you've used 3/4 of the shed, why are you using so much? Like, or you guys comfortable with ordering more? Like, what's your standard on that? Like, over usage versus under usage, you know what I'm saying?
So I think, as Chair Bushard had said, a lot of common sense on that. We are
Sure.
sand priority as opposed to salt priority, although it has been mixed lightly. We do also have a pile on the side of just salt. We do go with a group bid to order salt, and if I need sand, I just call up McGee's and they come and deliver it. They'll mix it for us. I'm not gonna sit there and police it, cause I think that the contractors should know their job and how
Yeah,
much
no,
they
sure,
need to
it's
lay down.
just a generic question of, you know,
Intersections, hills, and, you
Yeah,
know.
I don't have the
greasy
numbers
put
of how
sand
much
down.
I've gotten,
Yeah.
sure,
so.
Commute times.
Salt gets delivered like within 2 days,
Right.
so if you always call and say, hey, we're gonna need a
oh, I
little
know
salt,
those guys,
so,
yeah, when you call it, I'm saying.
Yep,
So whoever gets a contract, typically one of us will go out, ride around with, one or two or guys that got awarded the bid. And just to go, we do have some issues in our town, some residents that are pretty picky with some of their properties and stuff, and it's always a challenge when you go from one contractor to a new contractor. You're gonna have all those problems all over again, and it's frustrating for the resident, but, you know, when you have a bid process and stuff are put out to bid, you get different contractors, and that's unfortunately part of life. You know, we gotta deal with it, and we try to keep our complaints down to a minimum, but they're always there, so. Any other comments or questions or? Sure, good.
It says in here that it says in here that you need to have access to other equipment outside of the 4 trucks and the loader, as far as being able to rent a grader, or do we just have to prove that we have access to that?
Well, just, it's equipment, it breaks down, we're
Sure.
more concerned about if a piece of equipment goes down.
That we have a backup essentially?
Exactly.
Okay.
And it's somewhat close, it's not an hour and a half out.
Yeah, no,
You know
no,
what I mean?
I guess,
It's not the town's, I guess, issue if it's, something breaks, or if something is broken and ain't been fixed in 2 snowstorms, like, what are we doing?
right,
Get the truck fixed,
right,
you know, right?
Absolutely.
sure.
So, that's about it for me. It's, like I said, it's common sense, and you guys know what you're doing. right?
Yeah, no,
I have
it was just
worries
in here
about
that you just, you know, you need to have access to a
Yeah.
grader or something, you know, it's, you know, not against it, just wanna know that,
Yeah, just don't stretch yourself out and cut yourself too short and tight, and
yeah, no, that's all good.
All right. Thank you.
appreciate it.
Thank
guys.
you for coming in.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Good luck, Steve.
Have a good night.
Item 3, Eco Maine recycling contract consideration.
this is quite appropriate for reviewing the budget this evening. Before you, you have a modification to the agreement you currently have with Eco Maine. This past year, we've spent almost $14,000 and received $2,000 in revenue. See, I snake them. And looking at averages, we're probably gonna be running short about $2,600 this year in the budget line. This new contract, they said it's their costs that are going up, so this board has an opportunity to agree with an increase of $11.65 a ton, and you get 50/50 back on the revenue, or $120 a ton with no share of the revenue. As I had said when we reviewed the budget, my recommendation is to get rid of that whole thing out there. That'll save us close to $20,000 a year. Residents have an opportunity to go to Hatch Hill to take their recyclables, And I think, as I said before in the budget meeting, I think we have more than Chelsea residents putting their recyclables there. that your
So I talked
taxpayers
to
are paying.
Riverside today, cause I asked them what they charge
Yep.
for residential for a pickup, and as long as you have Riverside, it's free pickup. So if residents have a complaint, having an issue with it, then they can.
Recycling is free
Right,
pickup, that's
right.
correct, yes.
So if they complain they can't put it here, they can put it at the mailbox for free.
Trash, they charge to pick
Right,
up.
if it's Riverside, right?
Yep, yep.
And I'm in favor of getting rid of this.
Well, people are, they're lazy, they throw the stuff, you know, I don't know how many times we've been outside picking stuff up on the side of the road, the wind takes it. What are the figures that we're gonna take in, do you estimate this year,
This
for the
year,
recyclables?
for our revenue,
Yes,
probably about 2,200. We don't get a whole lot, we've
Okay.
only got paid twice. I think that's in the package, what we've got. They printed out.
so technically we're gonna lose, let's say $17,000.
Close to 20, because those revenues are not guaranteed, and recyclables are not pulling anything in for revenues for the most part. I estimated we would bring in about 2,500 in revenues. So that being said, with what we have spent so far, we're gonna be short about $2,700 in this budget line. Each month it costs us, depending on how many Mondays, either 1,000 or 1,250 to have Riverside take the container, and then Maine charges us 2 ton to drop it off. 4 ton, or a little close to that. So, it's about $1,700 a month.
Yep.
$1,800 a month.
Well, I am like Jake too, I'm all set with it. Sherry,
Yeah, I'm okay with getting rid of it.
any public comment?
Sounds like a good idea to get rid of it.
5 years ago.
So, if this board does not want to renew this contract, I will let them know that we are pulling out, for the end of June. Okay, since unless you wanna pull it earlier than that, to save money
No,
on the budget,
run it, you might as well run it.
run it for the budget year.
I mean, that's my opinion,
Yeah. I'm fine.
just to let people know.
It'll
I mean, they're gonna be upset if you pulled it now. I mean, they're gonna be upset anyway, but if you just pull it now, let's just run it through, run its course and.
Okay, alright, and I will get some sort of memo out there, whether it's a mailer or something. I know somebody's really good at mailers.
When's our next thing going on?
June.
Yeah, so we could put it in that too,
And that, and then
or we could even do a postcard.
Yep, yep.
So,
Or even just make a sign and laminate it and stick it on there.
they come take it every Monday,
Oh, that's right.
so.
I'll figure it out eventually.
You just didn't.
And with your blessing, I would get rid of the apparel impact container also.
And there's one on the corner of Windsor Road, correct?
That is correct.
We can use that one.
Thank you.
All right. Review, discuss, and possibly award the parking lot plowing bid.
Bids were due this afternoon at 2:00. I had 3 bidders. AK Lawn and Landscape for, and do you want me to break this down by year, or do you just wanna?
Just total price.
Total, okay, I didn't do that, so 18,900. For 2 years, he would be $18,900. The second bidder, 50, was L&L Services, and his price would be $15,450 for 2 years.
15 what?
$15,450. And then the third bidder was First Alarm, and his cost would be $15,300. Now, the past 2 contracts, we have had AK Lawn and Landscape and First Alarm. My recommendation to this board is to go with L&L Services for $150 more over the 2 years. Currently, that contractor does 2 other town offices and fire stations. 2 other towns.
Okay.
Jerry?
As a side note, this bid does ask for extra sanding. If I call and say I need an extra sanding, AK Lawn and Landscape was $85 and $90 for the 2 years, so if I call them out and say I need that parking lot sanding, it's gonna charge $85. L&L was $50 for an extra sanding, and First Alarm was $150.
So why are we hiring more sand as part of their contract in general?
It's like, if there's not enough to plow, maybe you had an ice storm or something, and I say, hey, I need this parking lot sanded.
Part of their contract from the get-go, if it's slippery, they get the sand, I wouldn't pay them extra money, that's my opinion.
I think I've only paid it once in the 2.5 years I've been
Right,
here.
yeah, it's part of their
So,
contract, especially that kind of money. Yeah, I'm fine with that one out.
Any public comment? I'm fine with that as well. All right, item 5 under new business, meet with Mr. Alexander regarding proposal of subdivision ordinance, minor subdivision junkyard ordinance.
Good evening.
Evening.
Okay. This one is the minor subdivision. I apologize, but we had our meeting on Thursday. This one is the junkyard. There's really not much of a change from this one to last time, but it's just here for your reference if you wish to read through it, go through it. Actually, that's all yours. Thank you. So, long story short, subdivision minor, what we did is we spoke to the town attorney, asked for some recommendations because he kind of likes to critique our work a little. And so he gave us 2, I think one was Wyndham and one was something else. So we took one of those 2 ordinances, I think this one's Gorham's, if memory serves me correct. And so what we did is we took one of the ones that he had suggested, and we basically, in a nutshell, we went and stripped actually a lot of stuff out of it that just was not applicable. A lot of DEP stuff that wasn't going to apply to small subdivisions, a lot of, special zoning stuff that wouldn't have applied. And basically what you're left with is those few pages. What this does is it recommends, somebody who doesn't have $10,000 or $15,000 to do a full subdivision plan could do a scale drawing on their own if they wanted to, or have a surveyor. They could, as long as it's to scale and has all the appropriate information, they could essentially provide the information, as long as we were able to take all the things that we need to do a very minor 4-unit or less subdivision. This is designed for somebody who wants to cut a lot off, or somebody who wants to add a couple, because if you put 3 dwelling units on a property, there's somebody in town who wanted to do that, and they weren't able to go through the whole subdivision process. So this is basically for somebody who just wants to do something minor. This is a very streamlined process. All that said, I know there's a bill in the legislature now that is looking to change subdivisions from 3 lots to 5. Don't know if that's gonna pass or not. If it does, this is kind of a moot point, but we're already here. So, and the reason we asked the attorney, just for clarification, because we're on a bit of a time schedule, so we don't have time to start from square one. We really wanted to get this done this year. So something that has already been through a very heavy attorney and legal review was very much to our benefit. We don't have time to send stuff back 3 or 4 times. So we ran into some issue with the other town one, which basically got entirely rewritten, and we didn't have time to go through that again. So,
So it's just 4 and 5 years essentially, 4 dwellings.
for the 4 year, yes, dwelling units or less, or 4 lots or less. That is correct. Grab this ordinance.
So you're saying somebody could sell 4 lots and it wouldn't be considered a subdivision? I'm sorry, 3 lots, and it wouldn't be considered a subdivision?
It's 3 or more, so it depends on a few different things. So if you go like, if you put 3 structures on or make 3 lots, then you're a subdivision.
Okay. 2 within 5 years, you're fine. Is that
Correct. Yeah, or if you do it over a 5-year period, as long as you're not making, if you make one and then wait 5 years and then do another one, and then wait another 5 years, then you're fine. You could do that as well. But if somebody wanted to carve off 2 or 3 lots or whatever, if they had 100 acres or something along those lines, then this would allow somebody to do that. A lot of towns have a subdivision. I don't know why I say a lot. There's quite a few towns that have a subdivision minor ordinance and a subdivision, and a regular standard standalone subdivision ordinance.
And if you had an excessive amount of land, it always used to, you got an extra lot without being considered a subdivision.
It's 40 acres or more.
40 acres,
Yeah.
okay. After the break off of the 2 or before you start?
I don't know the actual technical answer to
Okay,
that. I would
alright.
have to really put the, yeah.
Okay,
But I think that doesn't count as your first lot, if memory serves me correct. I could be not 100% sure.
no, that's fine.
And this is a very simplified version of things. I mean, there's still a lot of protections for the town in here. There's a lot of protections for the abutters. There's still notification in there. There's still a public hearing in there. All of the heavier pieces of it, this takes out a lot of the engineering and things like that, pieces of it. Which you really wouldn't need for a subdivision that big.
Sherry?
I'm okay with it.
Jake?
I'm sorry, go ahead.
I mean, I have, yeah, I guess, so I haven't really gone through it much, so it's kind of,
This has not been through the attorney review.
right.
We just sent it off to him. You know, we got the edited piece of it back Friday, and I sent it off to him over the weekend.
And this is the first draft then?
This is the first draft, yeah, I don't suspect there's gonna be a lot of changes on this just because of the town that it came from. It's probably been through legal review 100 times by now.
Any public comment?
So the process will be, at your next meeting, you'll decide if you're gonna go forward with adding it to your warrant. You'll have a public hearing the same night you sign your warrant, which will be a question for the annual town meeting to accept that ordinance.
All right. You wanna talk about the junkyard ordinance? No, that was,
It's just, this is the updated version when the attorney was here the last time.
Yep,
And
yep.
we added some language to strengthen the town's position in a couple things. The biggest piece of it for me that is in the junkyard ordinance is, and I don't know how we kinda got that far, but, one of the things I wanted taken out of it, was I don't want fee schedules in ordinances. It's a total pain in the rear to rewrite an ordinance every time you wanna change a fee. So it's been a goal of mine for the town and the boards to, anytime that there's an ordinance, is that we make this fee schedule totally separate of any ordinance so that you guys have the ability to change fees as you see fit without changing the ordinance. so the fees are not in ordinances. So that was stripped out and just basically replaced with a fee schedule set by the select board.
Oh, you don't like rewriting them all the time?
Hmm?
You don't like rewriting them all the
I
time?
really don't, no.
So,
All set?
I do enjoy the work, but not that much.
thank you.
All right, thank you. All right,
If you don't need me for anything else, I'm going to head home.
Have a wonderful evening, thanks for coming.
Oh, no problem, you guys as well, thank you.
all right. Item 6, discussion concerning the possible discontinuance of the Interville Road. All right, what do you have for us?
So, I have invited the abutters for that road to show up this evening. This is just to start the conversation of possibly discontinuing Intervale Road. Those are just maps of the properties down through there, and I have all the information. But this process does take a year, and I know I have promised Mr. Scahan probably last 18 months that when we started the discussion, I would invite him here to have them be able to talk about their concerns with getting rid of Intervale Road as a town road. It is quite a process because it is basically a one-way in and one-way out. You would have to initiate it, then they would get a year to secure access by another means if they need to. So essentially, should you decide to move forward, you'll have, this time next year, we'll start in motion to discontinue it, either with public access or without public access, and ultimately end up at town meeting asking the voters, because they're the legislative body, to say yay or nay. So I do have a spreadsheet that tells us the steps we have to give. My concern mostly is the maintenance of that road, that gravel road. It is the hill. It obviously has lots of water problems. We've spent quite a bit of money over the past year on it. The past 2 years since I've been here. And as it stands right at last year's taxes or this year's taxes, we garner about $11,000 a year in taxes. We spent that in last year in maintenance costs, not counting plowing or grading. So I invited them here to talk to you guys to plead their case or however they wanna discuss it with you.
Let's talk about the different ways to discontinue a road.
Mhm.
Do you have a list of the different ways? Obviously, discontinuance of maintenance, and is plowing considered maintenance?
Yes,
It is.
Yes. So I think it was 2008, if I remember correctly, in statute, they changed it, that you can't like abandon a road anymore. It would have had to have been done prior to a certain time. So all that stands now is either total discontinuance with no public easement or discontinuance with public easement. So, and there are other steps that you have to follow in order to get to that point.
Now, I know there's some towns out there that have roads that are discontinued with maintenance, but the town still plows them. Is that a,
Discontinued with maintenance?
yeah, is that a deal with the town, or is that something they came up with?
I don't recall that one. I would have to look again. Discontinuance. For any discontinuance occurring after 2018, Maine law now requires the discontinuance process follows 7 basic steps outlined below. And you would pay them damages. That could have been because they were discontinued way back.
I mean, it's
They may
possible,
have done
it's
that.
possible. So let me explain why we've got to this point. Every so often, we look at some of our roads and typically it's the ones that they don't have a lot of houses on them. And we'll look at them and decide, do we bring it to the town's attention and possible vote, whether they wanna keep that road? Do you wanna just continue it? It's not our decision, it's always the voters' decision. But we have, as well as the Innerville, we have like 4 other roads we're also looking at. One has 1 house on it, the other one has 2 houses on it, another one has 2 houses, one road has 1 house on it. So we look at those roads that are still being maintained and plowed. And should we look at a new housing development that has like 24 houses in it, which we don't do anything to, which has $100,000 worth of property taxes, and we don't plow it, we don't maintain it. So it's our duty to look at things like this. It's a tough one to do because we're all friends, we're all neighbors. But it's our job to look at that. If it's something that we decide we want to do, bring it to the voters, and it's up to them to decide. We've done this once in my 15 years, and the people didn't approve it. But it's up to us. It's our job to look at that and bring it to the voters and see if they decide if they want to keep maintaining and plowing that road or discontinue it. So, before we get to the public comment, Sherry, you have?
No, it's exactly what I was gonna say, that we did it.
Okay.
My biggest thing is obviously the future of the town, down the road versus like other than today. Obviously the numbers don't lie, you guys know what the numbers are. If we're putting in, say, $10,000-$11,000 a year on the roads we're getting for taxes, it's not hurting us anything, it's not gaining us anything. Yes, is a job in town that could have been done, that money could have been used for that, yes. But in hindsight, we have Hollow Water down there, which is a good neighbor of ours. We should be friendly with them and work with them, because the way the world's, the only Route 9's a commercial road, and buildings down the road are gonna need water, so. It's not a bridge I don't think we should burn. It's not a road that is heavily traveled, but it's a road that we've had for a long time. And I'm just looking at down the future of the town and being friendly with Hollowell and drawing business to this town for the revenue side of it. Because 15 years from now, we don't know where we're gonna be. And there's a lot of property down there. Not saying it's gonna change, but things change over time, and who knows what's gonna happen down there. So I'm just looking at the future of the town and where we're gonna stand 15 years from now, so where I'm at with it.
Public comment.
Did you folks wanna go first? I have just written it down, so.
Well, I don't, O'Brien's gang, we've owned property down there since the 1960s. Been paying taxes on every year since the 1960s. I paid over $4,000 in taxes today, and we're paying those every year. They haven't spent a lot of money on that road. They've done it a couple of times, they've done some work on it, but year after year after year, they haven't had to do much of anything. Yes, you have expenses now and then, but we'd like to see it stay a town road just as it is. It's in good condition, and we try to keep it that way, not too much traffic. We do also allow anybody that wants to get down there and hunt, fish, fiddlehead. We own the land, but we let them use our land. And I think that might be worth something in itself. Just the townspeople can get down there and use it. And we don't, our land isn't posted. The upper part of the road is posted, but we don't own that. But from where we own, it's all by permission. And we see no reason to change that. So, if you do discontinue the road, then we're not gonna pay the kind of taxes we've been paying. I'll do whatever I have to do legally to not pay those kind of taxes. I think it's been so far, I think it's, you know, if you figured up all the taxes we paid, I'm just talking for us, I'm not talking for anybody else. It's, the road, in my memory, was discontinued when we bought the land. It was discontinued.
I'm just gonna say no, it wasn't, but my turn will come, excuse me.
Yeah, but
Does that
I'll
put
tell you
some-
what I've experienced in the time that I've been there, which is since the 1960s. The road is discontinued. We restored a property on the river, fixed it up, never asked the town for anything, never asked them to maintain the road again, but then, later on, another house was built, and they started maintaining it. That was no request of ours, we didn't ask them to do it, but it was done, so it benefited us, because we later on built another house to live in, which is where we live now, and we're gonna stay there for as long as we can. So, that's, I don't know if that, those are some of my points.
Right. That house burnt, didn't it?
Yes, it did, Mike.
Yeah, is that the one that's right at the end?
We're right at the end of the road. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, and we kept the land, and then later on, about 2099, we built a house down there to live in, and we've been there since. And so we've been paying taxes on that house for 25 years, 26 years. And we paid a lot of taxes. So.
Okay. I appreciate your comments. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, work that, are you the guy at the end of the road, at the Interville Road?
Yes, ma'am.
So you know,
Yes,
you
I
know
do.
where it is.
Yes, I do.
All right. I wrote a note, so I wouldn't talk too much. All right, folks.
You have the floor. You talk all night.
Well, no, you know.
It's gone pretty quick.
No. All right. My name is Nancy Grover. And I have lived on the Interville Road for over 50 years. Just so you wouldn't think I was, I didn't mean to disagree with Brian in any way. But I'm going off my little paper now just because I didn't want your yes, no statement between Brian and, see if I can limit my words, it's gonna be hard. Okay. My husband and I came we're living in Adak, Alaska. I'm from Maine, but I've been away. And we purchased that property. And, got a right of way from Bill and Jane Perry coming down the woods for telephone and power, because in those days they didn't have cell phones. So we paid a little bit for that. And I don't have to tell you about I don't know how many, the property, but you knew that was Cecil McGee's old loam pit and gravel pit. And I'd just like to say a tribute to Cecil and Dick Condon. Dick called, probably you own that pit, I think, but if I'm wrong, you can tell me right here now. They both added rock to that road. I don't think the town paid them, but because they were calling out, I'm just talking about the base of the road.
Right.
I'm not gonna give you the whole life history, but somebody, okay, so I got a loan from, who knows what the bank is called now, but it was Gardner Savings Bank. They investigated the deed to the property, and they lent me money, and it was one of those where you could get the money and then use it. They trusted us enough to get, if we could get the money, they trusted us to build the house. We hired people to do different things. I won't go through that, but I could if I needed to be. Okay, so this is 50 years ago, and I was young in those days. All right, and look at all the other years. There have been times, this isn't in here, but there are times, some people have spent, if you were up on the road, you know, there could be a book written about what's been done to that road before this time. And so we'll just leave that alone. but it was a town road. And I would say the bank would be looking out, you know, for that, and the Perrys were looking out for me too, to be honest. So, in truth, all right, just leave that, okay, do you get the idea? It was a town road, but I appeared about 50 years ago. Okay, now I'll get back to my list. At that time and before, the Interville Road was a town road. I guess that was a point I need to make. This isn't day one, this is a town road. For some reason, it stayed a town road. Now, what happened in between, but I'm just talking 50 years. And Gardner Savings Bank's not here to tell me, but I just know from the money, dealing with it, they trusted me for money. They checked the property, they trust us to do the work on the house, so there's some trust there. And let's just leave it there. 50 years ago, when I came, it was a town road. And they plowed it and they graded it, they recognized it. For 50 years, they've been recognizing that. All right, now here's the big news. All right, the Interville Road is connected to Route 9. That's not news. But this is a road that's connected to Route 9, and that's how we go places. That's the one way out of there, Route 9. We go up that aisle, go up that road, that's how I get to Route 9. And that has been a town road, I'm sure, more than 50 years. They never closed it officially. And if they did, they were still taking care of it. For over 50 years, they did various things, as Mr. Pushak, they've done various things to that road for over 50 years. I can't believe 50 years have gone by, but it does happen. And now, the Interville Road should continue to be a town road. And I think I won't add it. I think, but anyone, I'm not gonna speak for the town of Chelsea or anybody or any future, but I'd like to, but that's it. I think the Interville Road should be continued a town road. And I think it adds we've added a lot. Brian has said what he adds, and Jacob has said he's younger than I am, but he sees the future. And he's a school selectman member, and he sees the future in Chelsea. And I say that, but thank you, and please, I'm asking you to consider this yourself, but please do not close the Interville Road in Chelsea. This is a little self-centered, but I think in our way, we add to the town of Chelsea. I think that's so, but just as a point, I think you can be proud of the Interville Road. And I've never seen it better than it is now, I must say, but I'm not running the town, but it's quite a road. And I go to New York City, and I am from Maine. This is not on my list, but I like to tell them I live on a dirt road in Chelsea. And of course, I've had a bear down the house at recent times. You know, they like to, believe it or not, people in New York like Maine people. I know some people from Maine hate people from New York, but now that road's something pretty good. And it's as good as I think as a road you see in New York City. So I don't mean to brag about it, I'm just grateful, but it'd be a shame for the potential that might be around. I could name some, but I don't want to, a person was coming from another group is concerned about this, but I noticed he didn't come tonight. But I know these people are concerned people, so I know when they come, they'll come with a force. You know, they won't come just to, I can't speak for another family, I can't say the future of Chelsea, but I'd say I've enjoyed my life. I need a road to get in and out. I plan my own driveway. I have a pickup truck. I'm responsible for my driveway. Mr. Pushai probably knows how long it is more than I do, but I pick at Home Depot, I pick up, it's not gravel, it's river and I put it on the back of my pickup truck. I figure out how to stack it, I drive it down, I have to wait for the time of the year. I have to dump that out on the road, and, you know, I have a relationship with this road. And knowing that I'm doing this for myself, not for anybody else, I plow the road, and Brian checks on me, Judy, and they'll, you know, move a tree, Zach's moved a tree for me, I'm not saying. But I'm also and I plow. I don't see myself driving the snow, truck. You get onto sand, a sander on your pickup truck. I don't see myself at 82 driving up the road with a sander. That's very dangerous. And I don't think for someone that's lived on the road 50 years, who's maintaining their own driveway by the grace of God, I don't know. But once you get in the truck and the heat is on, you know, life is good. But there's a lot
Till
of
you get
times.
stopped.
Oh, but my mechanic, I have a mechanic. If you have second-hand vehicles, oh, you have those plow guys, didn't you? If you have second-hand vehicles, I have 3. You have to have a good mechanic. And I don't plow after dark now, but when my husband is sick and alive, I wouldn't wanna, you know I've been stuck. But I have a mechanic that would come and pull me out. I'm not saying Brian wouldn't, or Zach wouldn't, but I have some guy that would come, because he, I don't know why he would, but, and I have a mechanic, so it's the plowman up back, they have a mechanic. I have a mechanic. I don't see myself out driving out and getting a load of sand, cause I don't shovel. I can't shovel very well. But when you put your dirt, I'm not gonna repeat it, but just why I don't I do, you put, and I have a rake, I can use a rake. So if that dirt falls right, you get your rake, that's my work on a dirt road. But I don't think you should disregard the money you've been here, what, 6 years, is that what you're saying?
Me?
Yes.
No, manager, I've been here 2.5.
Oh, excuse me, 2.5. Oh, so this figures you quoted me were just the time you were here spending money. All right, Mr. Pushai knows the stories, many stories, and many times. I don't know how long you've been up there. I was here when, I know the guy, Ludwig's.
Yes.
Okay, Mr. Ludwig, and then that's where your place, isn't it? Okay. So you've seen a lot of that, and were you involved in town business? So I don't have to tell you anything, because I didn't know the town business, but I could see it on the road, you know, so I don't have to say it, because you know it. But I would think, for what the town's put in, I wouldn't throw what, I'm not speaking for the town, but I'll just say for me, I'd like to see that a town road. And when I go to New York, I hear, we'll just leave it alone, okay? And my kids are coming, my grandkids are coming, and they're coming up to visit Saturday. And we're going to because my driveway's pretty good for mud, don't have to go to town road. So they're coming up here to learn about mud. Cause I've had an aunt, and, you know, I have a history of people. You don't need to hear that, but I want my grandchildren to know about mud, and about Maine, and, about Chelsea. So, okay, so you know, Mr. Pushai, you know the history of that road and what the town has spent. And it's been a history more than 2 years, and if you divided what I've paid for taxes over the years, although there was a time there, I didn't wanna go, there was one, anyway, forget the times, you know the times, you know that. I'm asking you to please not close the Interville Road. Not necessarily for me, but for the good of the people who will be living there. Me especially, me now, but in the future, for the future of the Interville Road. I'm asking you to please keep it open, and thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other public comment?
I'll go real quick. I'm Zach Lovely from the Hollow Water District. We currently have an easement on Nancy Grover's property. I'm just looking down through actually your paved plowed roads list. Looks like there's 6 total dirt roads, totaling 1.75 miles. The Interville Road is the longest of those 3 by just over a half, well, it's total just over a half mile. There's quite a bit of undeveloped land. I will say it's probably one of the nicest gravel roads I've been on. I think the $11,000 that was invested over the last couple of years has replaced pretty much, you guys can speak more to it, but pretty much every culvert on that road. So the hard money, the expensive money's been spent. I think it would be a shame for the town to give up what they put so much money into. Obviously, it's not a secret, it's obviously a benefit to the water district as well, to have that road as stay a public road and for the future development for us. But, I'm here basically to support the residents at this point and kind of help where I can.
Okay, thanks. Any other public comment? Okay. Where would you like to go from here?
So this board has to decide how they're going to move forward because it is gonna be a year-long process. If you decide to move forward with discontinuance.
I didn't understand quite.
Sorry, the board has to decide at this point if they're going to move forward with starting the process of discontinuance. Because it's a year-long process, basically notices will be sent out to everybody on that road, which I think there's 5 owners, according to our tax maps, stating this is going to happen in a year. Gives you a year basically to secure if you need access from another point. Excuse me, at that point,
Excuse me, I'm interrupting you, I
Sure.
know it. When you say access from another point, what do you mean?
So if somebody had a landlocked piece that their only access was to come through, say, Brian's to get there, this would give them an opportunity over the next year to secure their access, say, over Brian's.
We don't have that problem, but that's the only way in and
That's
that's the only
correct.
way out.
That's why it needs to be a
In and out.
year-long process. This isn't one that like goes straight through. What's the other road that had the bridge off from 17 that we
Old
talked about?
Thomaston Road.
Old Thomaston Road had a bridge that you could go through at one point. So it's just the statute that says it takes this long. You guys get a year's notice. That also gives it opportunity for the board a year from now to budget for possibly paying you for any detriment, loss of value to your property, or it could increase your property value. That's yet to be determined. They have to hire an appraiser. And then also a second notice gets sent out, and then they start finalizing damages. These will all be budget items for the next fiscal year. And then in June of '26, it would go to the voters if this is what the board chooses to do. So you would have the next year of maintenance and plowing.
I have another question. Will you have to hire people to come in to appraise our property and pay them money?
Yes.
And whatever all this evaluation will be paid for by the town of Chelsea, is that correct?
It'll be budgeted as part of the process.
It will be an expense to the town of Chelsea, not to me.
Correct.
Do you have any idea what those expenses would be?
I don't. The DOT has a list of those certified appraisers that look at the value if a portion of road is discontinued. You have to go through the Maine Local Road Center. They give you the list and then you get a price from them. And they kind of look at it to say, oh, well, is it a huge detriment for them to lose this part of the road? And if it is, what's the value? Kind of like when the state improves the state road, they go eminent domain and they pay for the loss of value on whatever they're taking away. That's kind of the process. I don't even have an idea on appraisals. I don't know what it will be.
It'd be interesting to know what it's gonna cost you to do all these things.
It wouldn't be anything I could even estimate at this point because it will be a year from now. So,
If as I said earlier, we brought it to the voters 6 years ago or so, a small road down the road here. If we can find the paperwork
Ooh, it's probably.
from our prior town manager, if we can get a figure of what that cost us, we'll reach out to you and let you know. There's a lot of things we can't find here in the town office, but we went through the process of the appraiser and the damages. If we can find that report, we'll let you know at least what that would have cost for that one house down the road here.
Excuse me, I'm kinda glad to hear what you're saying. Is that the only road you've closed in this town? If it's a guess, it's just so if it's
No,
all you-
we closed, we discontinued the Birmingham Road, parts of Allen Avenue, and the Don Deere Road back in 2013 or
Just
2014.
parts of the Dondero Road.
Parts of it, yes, in between. And the old Birmingham Road was discontinued, and Allen Avenue, a portion of Allen Avenue out on Route 17 was all discontinued one night. Back in, like I said, 2013 or 2014.
And those all went to town meeting.
You know something? I don't believe that went to town meeting. They were scheduled.
It did in 43, but there was some question on if it was approved or not. So to clean it up, you guys addressed it in your meeting.
That's what it was. So in prior years, the select people that were behind the desk didn't finalize those 3 roads were discontinued, but it wasn't finalized. What we did is just finalize and finish the process. So technically, since I've been here 15 years, we've only tried to do one, and the townspeople voted it down.
Okay, and why I happen to be in the town office, this is more of a personal, emotional thing. And a woman, I think, had been there, and I think we don't need to go on about this, but this is a different situation. That woman might have had, that might have been a family home for the woman, not that this isn't a family home for me. But you can figure the money out, what it's going to cost, and if it's worth it to you.
Well,
I think you're going to look, apparently you're looking at us as just, not you personally, not me personally, but you're looking at us as just money, and you're saying we didn't pay enough taxes. Who approved of the job on the Interville Road? I shouldn't ask that question, but somebody must have approved of this work, and
It's
then
not
all of a
it's not
sudden.
number, it's not looking at you as money, it's just comparing the numbers of what's getting paid out, what's coming in.
All of a sudden, after 40 years, I should stick to my list here, but all of a sudden, why is what we pay for taxes added up with the school? That's what you told me. I mean, I can't, all of a sudden, it's not, it's all of a sudden to me after 40 years.
And what I had explained to her on the phone was if we collected $10,000 out of them,
I figured that out.
70% is going to the school.
Right.
And, you know, like 6% is going to the county, so we're getting like $2,000 a year to take care of that road. And I understood her concern. She was a teacher and education's important. That was not my argument at all. My job, as I had said to her, was to look at the tax dollars and see frugally what is palatable
Well, we're looking at it, right?
Right, so,
But that's based on the 2 years, I think I understood that, but I was thinking if someone's been there over 50 years, Brian has his story, we must have paid some taxes or no one thought about this.
The unfortunate part of this is, you know, we're a small community and most everybody knows everybody. So it's difficult to bring something like this to light or even to bring it to town vote because you are affecting, you know, someone that you know.
a neighbor.
So it's difficult when you sit on this side of the desk to make these decisions, and you know it's gonna impact, you know, people that you know.
Well, people wouldn't even know me. I live on the Interville Road. I taught in a private Christian school. My son went to a private school. He didn't go to Chelsea school, so we weren't on the Chelsea basketball team. We were on a dirt road. And then he went to Halldale High School, which was a blessing. And I think Chelsea financed that. And I realized people would know kids have to take tests. So in my case, I know very few people in Chelsea. So when I show up at town meeting, no one's gonna know me particularly. I could think of a few people that might, but I'm not well known.
I don't think the matter of knowing you well or not knowing you well, you are a member of our community, and I can speak for myself, and I'm sure the board, we value all of you. This is a hard decision, right? But the times that we're living in right now, we have to look at these hard questions. And it's not us three that are gonna make this decision. We're going to put it out to the townspeople, and the townspeople are going to make this decision.
And those poor people in the town that I hear the new taxes that might come to town, they have to buy food and groceries.
It's
How
hard.
can I blame anyone that would vote against this road presented the way it is? They're just doing their simple arithmetic too, the way it was presented to me. I wouldn't blame these people, the stand they took, that's what I'm saying. Why should they pity me? I don't particularly want their pity, but it would be, I don't see why. They've got other things.
And
People
this
have
is
other
hard.
things on their mind.
I don't want you to think that we look at this lightly and say there's only a few houses down there, what's the big deal? It's because you're part of our town, you matter to us.
May I ask? So I understand the last 2 years, there has been a considerable amount of money put, but given the history of the road,
Right.
I don't think that has always been the case, correct?
You're right, but the storms are becoming more frequent, the heavier storms, the lot of rain storms, the washouts are becoming more. We're seeing a lot more road repair due to those. So what's that next 10 or 15 years is gonna look like? We don't have a magic
Right.
ball,
We
right?
don't.
We don't, but like Christine said, it is our position to bring it to the townspeople to say, listen, this is what we put into this road, what would you like to do?
And just enough, I noticed this one road, and you said there are other roads you're considering,
Yes.
so, are you just picking like a road, a meeting, or are those not, this is the one that's the top road, or just?
It just happened to be the first one we started with.
Okay.
I don't think it was anything other than,
Okay.
we've gotta pick one, put them in the
Yeah.
hat and see which one we draw out first. You know? But like Mike said, you know, we have a lot of we have a subdivision that has a lot of houses that we don't do anything to.
Oh,
That's because it's not a town approved road, never was.
And I'm not disagreeing with that, I'm not disagreeing that, but we also have to look at where can we spend the town's money where the most people can get the benefit. And that's a really crappy way to have to look at this, but ultimately, in the environment that we're in nowadays, that's what we have to look at. Like, where's our money, where can we spread it with the greatest number of people, you know? I mean, we have a gentleman here on the Nelson Road that hasn't had they've paid taxes for years and haven't had very little done to that road. Because return on investment, because how many people are really travel that road? It's a dead end road, so it's not what we want to have happen, right? But
We've already had two
ultimately, that's
neighbors
how
use
it
wheels
works.
this month. Constantly stopping to throw chunks of pavement out of the road that flipped out, so.
Yes, so you're, the dirt, but you have a blacktop,
It hasn't been touched in 22 years,
okay?
so it's
Almost there.
Right.
It's on
And you're on the
Slauson.
same road?
No.
No difference, no, okay. Could I, sort of like tying in with what you're saying, Mr. Pushot, I use him only because I know he's at the end of my road. And this I can't answer, but this is in the so-called olden days, when our road was like a gravel bed, we didn't have, they had something called mud money, and if there was a storm in town, they would use special money. Now, I mentioned it to the town manager, does that ring, you don't have to answer me tonight, but we used to wait for a storm, and then we would get storm money or different money, and they call it mud money. Our road was not envious in the 50 years I lived there. But does that ring a bell with you? You don't have to answer me tonight.
Mud money doesn't, but, no.
I don't have I don't know the town manager term, but I'm sorry, yeah, so is your road being considered to be closed?
No.
Okay, you're just, okay.
Okay, so,
Zach, I
Is there
interrupted
is there any
Zach.
way I can make just one
course you can.
suggestion? So, the only thing that I'm looking at is you're talking possibly about 5 roads. What about doing the homework on those 5 roads and putting a motion together to send those 5 roads to town meeting at once? Basically, so there's no stone unclosed, and it shows everybody what's really going on with all the dirt roads.
So I actually have that list. Chair Bouchard and I worked on a list on Friday. At that point, I had already prepared this agenda. Those roads will be on May's meeting. That will still give us the year time frame to take it to June of 26. Okay?
Okay.
I just didn't have time to call the people on those 5 roads like I did you guys.
Yeah,
So-
no, that's completely understandable, I
Yeah.
understand that, I think, and this is from an outside, I'm obviously here just as a property owner, but, it just gives the townspeople a better idea of, all right, we're saving an estimated X amount of money on plowing, X amount of money on road stuff, so, and they can see the amount of people that are affected by not just getting rid of 1 road, but 5.
that is an option, without a doubt. So one of the roads obviously will be one that we tried probably 6 years ago. I mean, because of the washed out bridge, it's basically a driveway. So we're basically plowing and maintaining this resident's driveway. But again, the townspeople voted it down, so, and this is the first time since that 5 or 6 years that we're looking at possibly doing it again. I can't answer why and how some of the prior boards from the 2000s, 90s, 80s, and so on, whether they tried to do this or I don't know. All I can tell you is the 15 years I've been here, we've tried it once and it was denied.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just looking at the list, I can see 1 road's 0.04 miles, 1 road's 0.08, and the Tasker Road, which is the one that the bridge washed out on, right? It's not.
Old
okay.
Thomaston.
Oh, Old Thomaston.
And
Okay,
Spice.
so then the Tasker Road is 0.15 miles, so there's 3 short gravel roads that are currently, or, I don't know if those 3 are on your list or not, but.
Actually, Tasker isn't. No. There's a portion of Allen Avenue. I don't know where the old Mike White's, we were down that Quonset hut.
It's on my phone.
I don't know what that road is, but anyway, so there's
Okay.
4 of them.
No, it's,
Where Mike White's corner.
I know, I can't
Okay.
even
So you're looking for,
This board to vote to approve to send the first notice to the abutters, which is a notice of proposed discontinuance of the road. And then we wait 1 year.
And once it's started, we have no recourse? I mean,
they would wait for a year, and then, they would meet to approve the second notice and set date for a formal board meeting to consider the discontinuance. And then they approve it, they finalize the damages, they file the order with the clerk, they set a public hearing date, and then they send a copy of the order and notice for the public hearing. They would hold the public hearing, and then at least 10 days after that public hearing, the legislative body would vote on it. So we're talking next May, this all would be set into motion for a June town meeting.
Still just focusing on the Indigo Road,
So next meeting, there will be the other roads for them to
the other
consider.
roads that's at Maine.
It's just, I didn't have time last Friday because I had the agenda already situated.
Other roads mean other roads.
There will be other roads next meeting, yes. As long as, I mean, I'll bring it to them, but they're the ones that ultimately direct me on where to go, so.
Well, as far as tonight goes, I'm not ready to make a decision tonight, but that's just my opinion. So,
I'm in favor of keeping it a town road, it's been a town road for a long time. Like Brian made a point of, a lot of the public does go down there and use it, which is great on their part. Like I said, there's been a lot of money spent down there, but our connection with Hollowell's worth more than that, so that's my opinion.
I would've been okay moving ahead. I guess we table it.
I don't think you have to table it really, do you?
If you want it to come back to the next meeting, you'll have to table it till a date certain, if you're not ready to make a decision.
Yeah, so I guess
Need a motion to table it.
I'll make a motion to table the discussion to discontinue the Innoville Road till
Maybe.
the May meeting.
I'll second.
The motion is second. Any public comment on that? All in favor?
So, let me
Well-
just get this straight, yeah. You're gonna, table it until the next meeting, the May meeting,
Yes,
okay, and then,
to make our decision whether we move forward or not.
okay,
So yours will be included again with the other 5,
okay.
so.
Okay, I think you made that clear, but I like it real clear. Okay, you're gonna table this, but now all of a sudden, these other people are coming in, and they have to, is that going to happen? Are you going on with the other people?
I will be calling them and telling them that it's going to be on the agenda to start the discussion. This is just a discussion for them to hear you guys and your concerns and why you feel it should stay the way it is. The process doesn't start until they say, send the first notice.
Okay, so we're tabled, and I got that, is that correct, just in simple language? And we're tabled, and you're going to call these other people in, not in my business, but apparently so you may or may not call the other people in, that's not my business, but I might, you're going to call the other
They're
people.
gonna get the same treatment that you got, she
Yeah,
called you,
okay,
the same
and they'll have a
exact thing,
chance
just
to
different,
sit
instead of
here.
Intervale, it's gonna be a different road, they're gonna get the same, they're gonna come in and
Okay,
get the
and
same
then
spiel you did, and we'll make a decision,
And-
and,
you keep us informed,
right.
whether we're one alone or
Yep,
tabled
yep.
or,
Yeah.
I'm sure they'll have the same questions that you had for the town manager.
okay, thank you.
I have been very transparent with you guys. I mean, that was my promise. I know definitely to Brian that I would keep him enlightened on this. That there's nothing trying to sneak anything by. I want you guys to know what we're trying or not trying to accomplish here, so.
And I know it feels personal, but please
No,
know
I don't
it
take
is
it
not
personal,
personal at
I'm
all.
just concerned about the big picture of Chelsea, really. I'm not gonna be around to be personal, but it's a big, we're not the only, I don't know that our money's going to save the town of Chelsea is what I'm thinking. I think I don't need to evaluate the town of Chelsea, but I know people in this day and age with the uncertainty, it's hard for people. And I'd like to think
But it's just as hard for you folks too, and I don't want you to think that we don't think that.
well, anyway, I thank you for the time. There seemed to be yes, thank you.
Well,
Thank
thank
you.
you for coming in.
See you next month.
Okay, it's a date, we'll be here.
Yeah.
Hopefully with no snow and no,
There best not be any.
I'm with you.
110.
Or we can do it from Florida.
110.
We'll do a Zoom call from Florida.
Oh, yes, yes, I'm sorry.
So are you, your table?
Yeah.
Are you a table?
No, I wanna get it over with now, but it's fine.
Okay, so, alright, so it's a 2-to-1.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you, I'll be in touch, guys.
Thank you.
You're
Coming out and help the people in the accident. Oh, good, thank you. Yeah,
Thank you for listening to us.
Of course, it was our
Thank you, have a
pleasure.
good night. Item 7, fiscal year 2026 budget review. Yep. Actually, Henry, do you have any information for us
None, what do you want?
about the accident?
We gave you a 6
Oh, you
star,
don't
7.5.
Huh?
You don't wanna know, it doesn't matter.
Well, we want to know.
What do you wanna know?
Talk to us about the accident, what happened?
I paused it.
Oh. Oh, it is, okay. Oh, okay.
What's that?
Go back and sit down, we don't want to talk to you.
See ya.
Okay.
Okay, I'm just picking up my
Yeah.
keys and,
Is it all cleaned up though?
Yeah, it's all open.
Are you okay to drive home in the dark? Okay.
I've left the outside lights on. We do
Perfect.
have we do have electric. It's a little extravagant, but I said I was at night, that's why.
How long has that been?
That's why it was like,
Is it run by a gerbil? In a hamster cage?
we're big time down.
Oh, you're big time down there.
Electricity. We paid money for that. So far, the power line hasn't left us. Thank you, good night. Thank you for your time.
Have a good night.
and effort. And I hope it goes well for you to manage
Ma'am?
over there.
Yeah, I do.
Well, it'll be hot after we leave at this point.
It's coming on in here.
Good grief, Charlie Tuna. You freeze me out, dog?
Why not?
I'm just making a statement. Next time
I just put the heat up higher, how's that?
I'm gonna bring a blanket.
Oh, it is budget time.
Can I just interject? Mr. Fletcher is running for select board.
No.
Live to school board. And he was hoping to get a couple of signatures.
Absolutely.
So if you wanna pop up here, come on up. And that way you can get home and you don't have to listen to us.
Oh, I actually wanna listen.
Oh!
I'm gonna start coming to more of these.
Well,
I
you can
love that.
say.
Bring your neighbors too.
Oh,
Alright. I see a trestle on there.
yeah.
Your road's out to bid for rebuild and pave.
Yes, I was talking to Henry here.
I thought we were gonna try to discontinue that one too.
There's 32 homes on that, I can't quite,
I thought we counted more than that.
32.
32? I guess at 30.
Yeah.
So like that, it's awesome.
Thank you.
You will get baked haddock and personal chef if you get in there, so.
I'll hold you to that.
Eat it
Jake's
first
doing the
hand.
cooking and the supply.
How do you get
So
that?
Jake's doing the cooking and the
Part
supply.
of that budget over there.
Excellent.
Oh, I seen it firsthand. You better than anybody does.
Who's that?
There you go, sir.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you.
Joe.
Thank you.
Why do you
Why
think
do
the
you
taxes are so
get-
freaking high?
Why do you get fed?
Cause they got plenty of money over there.
I'm gonna work on cutting that out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Learn to eat
Wish you
baked-
luck.
Leave them alone.
You eat baked, we don't eat baked haddock, it's got water.
Signatures?
Yeah.
Sometimes
Sometimes
water
money's
is
there.
purified
Actually,
water.
we could start
I
here.
got 23.
Have a little supper before the
Even
meeting.
though you're running against my husband.
Okay,
Yeah, you should have taken out the 3-year term.
Yeah, you should have.
would you, huh?
Can I change it?
Yeah.
I just put stuff down.
Then I'll.
We need your budget book, are we going on before you do the budget
How do
book?
we do this?
I don't know.
Why don't you turn in, tell
You
him
wanna go
it
on
was
with the rest
supposed to
of
have
it
been
before we
3, not
budget?
2.
Well, we don't have much left, do we?
Yeah, we'll just get it open and hold a budget after.
Okay.
So I can get rid of
Okay,
the-
old business none, legal none, town manager's report.
Did you get him?
So, I don't know if I'm gonna afford it, what did I put in here?
That one, they did a house. Thank you.
I went to the legislature, the tax foreclosure law, trying to amend that. It went to taxation committee, voted unanimously, ought not to pass. I'm trying to bring it back next session, so I need to find a Democrat to support the bill because they control the House. So in order to bring it back to second session, it has to be who controls it to sponsor it. So I'm working on that along with the Callis assessor's agent, to make some more amendments to it, so hopefully we can get it passed.
What was that one for?
That was the tax foreclosure law on how we have to sell tax foreclosed properties in municipalities. It's a state law that I was trying to amend.
What was the amendment? Because I know now they have to refund any overage back to the,
Correct, the amendment was to grandfather the ones that were owned by municipalities prior to the whole Supreme Court ruling about giving money back, to say that municipalities don't have to go through the same notification process, not giving the money back, but alerting the former tax property owner of the sale. Because Chelsea has properties that they've owned for almost a decade, and the owners are long gone, heirs, you'd have to find all the heirs to let them know. So I was trying to ask the state to amend that to say, those are exempt, they're grandfathered.
okay.
They didn't like that. So, we'll go again next semester, until then we hold on to the properties. Taxes are due Friday, it's been crazy busy. Still working with FEMA regarding the Windsor Road bridge culvert. The first estimate from the engineer was approximately $170,000. I was advised by FEMA not to sign the contract, because they're paying for it. So we're holding tight until we find out what's going on with that. You'll get it soon, I'm sure. I do have shortage on office staff. Somebody lost a family member, so they're out for the week. And next week, one of them's on vacation, so we're kind of running around with our heads cut off. Just helping as much as we can. Tax foreclosures will happen on Friday for the 23 taxes. I wasn't able to pull that number today to tell you how many are set for Friday, but you usually see them Friday morning paying their taxes. Also, papers are due for annual town meeting positions in town on Friday. In front of you, you do have a list of all the cases that currently the CEO is working on. I have asked our CEO to send this to our attorney. Some of these have already gone to court. I wanna know what the deadline is on them, like they had 100 days by court and whatnot. So he's sent this to our attorney. I'll have an update for you on that. I wanna start closing out some of these so we can add more. I think there's 30 on here. And those are just the red files on his desk.
Wow. That's
So,
town is small and 30.
we attempted to have a budget meeting last Wednesday. Out of 6 potential budget members, 1 resigned, and of the 5 left, 2 showed up, so we did not have a meeting. We'll attempt it again next Wednesday.
Okay. Town office report we have. Code enforcement, fees is in there. Animal control is in there. I don't see a fire department report.
I did receive that this weekend, I just didn't print
Okay,
it out.
yeah. All right, verbal communications, RSU, Henry?
I'm fresh out, sorry.
Okay. Boards and committees? Seeing none? Uh-oh. Yes, young lady?
Because I get old.
What's that?
Just saying that every time I get
I
old.
know, I know.
Okay, age friendly. April 17th is the next free luncheon. Anybody wants to attend? Here.
I must say it, let me say, I visited the last time, it was a very good meal.
This one,
I was kind of forced into it, but I'm glad I did. It was a very good meal, the company was awesome, so. Anyway,
this
so-
one is a baked ham dinner. They're going to be setting up the community gardens a little bit different this year, but setting it up in May. The 12 months of giving, April is non-perishable food, May is community garden donations, and June is Veterans Toiletry Drive. The 175th is moving right along. We have a lot of things confirmed. We've have been signing contracts and doing that to get the carnival atmosphere. We have the bounce house, the obstacle course, the ice cream truck, chicken dinner.
The dunk tank locked down yet?
The dunk tank is.
Do we have a cotton candy machine?
We do, because Wendy Willett, they have a commercial one that they're giving us
Are they
to
gonna?
use. Why, you wanna run it?
I'll run it.
What's this?
Game. Cotton candy.
Oh,
We've got 2 bands
A lot of years in PTA.
that will play throughout the day. It's going 10 to 4 on Saturday is what they've, so, that's
No
that.
band Friday night?
Hmm?
No band Friday night?
No,
I said.
not that anybody's told me.
I just had to,
Yeah.
We can have a band, it will
We'll
be at
just
your
show up
house.
Friday night, start it off.
The comp plan, comprehensive plan. The public hearing will be May 28th at 6:30 in the school cafeteria. The link for the survey is still up on the town website. People can take the survey. The questions,
The 28th is budget, need they sign the warrant, you know? What time is your meeting?
6:30.
Okay.
It's the same day.
Yeah.
We-
Okay.
We already put it in the newsletter too. We've had 40 people respond to the survey as of the last meeting. The plan should be finalized in June, and it goes to the state for their approval. And we should have it back by September for town approval. That's all I have.
Good job, Dot.
Thank you, Rita.
Short and sweet tonight.
Round of applause.
Offices?
Are we bringing Charles Mills back next?
I forgot to tell you about that.
Surprise!
He's refusing to sign the agreement.
Yes, I knew that.
Would you like him on the agenda? I told him he had to come talk to you guys, but
I would like him back on the agenda.
got it.
If he's not gonna sign it,
I don't see nothing, I'm with you.
cause he agreed to sign it,
Yes, he did.
and he knew when he was drafting it, so
Yep.
I don't
Yep.
know where the discord is. And Jake's been on board since day one, so we're just a little late to the update, it's okay.
You done? Those 2 telephone poles, Townhouse and Hackerson Road, the intersection of Hackerson, one that's completely broke off with a posted sign on it.
I told the safety officer CMP about that, they took pictures of it and said, yeah, we'll get to it, and that was 2 months ago.
Like 3-4 years now, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Been quite a while, like,
Yeah.
at the point of, it's gonna snap and
Yeah.
hurt somebody or.
It's the same as the ones down here, corner of Hankerson and
Oh,
Douglas.
those
I
are
told
so
them they need
bad.
to fix it, and that was, I think, the first month I was here,
Mm-hmm.
and it has not moved at all.
So there's not anybody higher up we can email or anything we can do at this point, it's,
I mean, I can certainly make another phone call to the
Right.
manager, I spoke to their manager at one
They
point.
said it's not gonna do any damage because it's tied off, like
It's
it's,
going down unless it falls on another car going under it.
alright, that's an issue. I just think it's been long enough, I mean, I get it, 6 months to me is, but it's been 3-4 years, and I'm
Yeah.
enough. Everyone pays the CMP bills is to get the poles fixed.
You should get a hold of Tammy Pierce.
She doesn't work anymore.
I know that.
As a
she was
resident,
here.
can I comment on the one
It's
on the
only been a
Hankerson
couple-
Road?
Absolutely.
Couple of years.
It needs
she
to
was
come
working
down, cause
on-
people in small cars can't see
Yes.
the traffic coming at you when you're trying to turn and head down this way.
We're talking about different.
No, not that one. I agree with those. That cluster is a joke, but
There's two of them
the
right
one that has
there.
the posted sign on it right now, look at that one.
Yeah.
Posted sign's going like this.
Yeah.
Bro.
Very much hold together.
I'll make a note of it.
Yeah. Just for the record, if something does happen to it, there's a paper trail to it, and they can come back on them, not us. That's all I got for that.
I'm also.
Budget time.
All right.
Yeah.
So, you guys want to sign these minutes and the warrants while we're getting
Did
everybody?
you wait? I'll be family enough for people when all these people.
Hopefully, yeah.
Oh, they will be.
You go,
They're
Mike.
in bed.
Like,
Lights out.
This is perfect.
Okay.
Why are y'all checking the phones? God,
Oh, we got 48 messages, people in town, what's going on?
Tell them an escaped whale is on loose.
Elusive.
That's what they do. Hey, what's going up there? Oh, freaking sharks attack up there.
Oh my gosh, look at them.
I know, right? Worse than freaking high school kids. They got your rule. You got a rule over there?
Happy
Smack
life,
the
happy
knuckles.
life, Raymond, right?
Sherry?
Happy wife, is that what you just said?
Yeah.
Why? I thought you were talking about yourself.
Yeah.
What?
Get off your phone.
Good, you start.
Oh, okay.
You wouldn't know anything about
No.
hassle by your happy life.
We're sitting here looking at you guys playing phones.
My infamous Scott Brady, who's my fact checker, caught an error in
Again?
the salaries. It added the column up wrong, so you have updated sheets in your book. The salary changed a little bit. I don't think admin salary changed, I think it was fire department salary changed, but basically you guys need to now start voting on this stuff and deciding where we're going, so
Okay, let's get rolling.
where you wanna, what you wanna eliminate, what you wanna change.
Eliminate fire department salaries, all of them.
Question, do you still want this running?
Up to this board? No?
No, shut up.
Okay,